7 here. It's middle of February, and the weather in North Carolina is really nice actually. As you can see, it's sunny and it's quite warm. Everybody's out on their bikes, and I'm feeling pretty sad because my leg still hurts quite a bit. Maybe want to get out and ride, and I might actually do that a little bit today, and I'll try to do a vlog if I do. But I would like to talk a little bit to people who are maybe new to riding, or they're thinking about getting into riding. And this is primarily for people who are, let's say, 35 and up. For the younger folks who can, who, just more, how do we say, when you're younger you heal faster, put it that way. So it might be better for younger people to survive something nasty, but this video is for, people, late 30s, early 40s and up. And this is something that you should consider when you're riding. It's something that I've had to consider myself, so I thought I might help. So the question is, should you ride or should you not ride? That's a really good question. I think you should ride, personally. But before you get into riding, you need to really weigh the risks of an injury. That's a very serious thing. A lot of people kind of whistle past the graveyard and they think they're not going to go down. And when I go to turn, I lean the bike like this, and as I lean, the bike just went BAM! But you really have to think about it and ask yourself, what would I do if I did go down? What would my life be like if I did go down? Think about the horrible possibilities. Make them real in your mind, because there is a very possible chance that it will happen to you. For example, if you break your leg the way I did, what's that going to do in terms of your income? Do you have a job where you can take a lot of time off, possibly? Do you have health insurance? That's a huge one. Do you have long-term disability insurance? If you don't, then you should look into it. It's not really that expensive. And then there's the quality of life issues. If you're going to be with a broken leg, maybe in a wheelchair for a while, or permanently, God forbid, or a broken arm, or broken leg and arm. I mean, there's all kinds of horrible things that can happen on a bike. So you have to weigh the risks against the benefits, the joys of riding. And if you've watched any videos at all, you probably heard people talk about the joys of riding. I don't want to get into that too much right now, because it'll just make me sadder. But think about it, it is a very real chance. And I know there are people who say, oh, I've been riding 30, 40 years, I've never gone down. Good for you. But the majority of us are still facing that very real chance. And maybe even if you've ridden for 30 years, you still face that chance every time you get on the bike. Somebody could turn left in front of you, or a deer could jump out in front of you, or you could make a goofy mistake like I did and go down very easily and hurt yourself a lot for something that's stupid.
Not stupid.
Or maybe even permanently change your life or end it. So before you get into it, seriously give it some thought. I would not personally get into motorcycling if I didn't have health insurance of some kind. I'm thinking if I do go back to it, I'm going to get long-term disability insurance, which is probably going to be an extra $30 a month or something. And the other thing too, if you're going to ride and you're a little bit older, 35, 40, 45, 50, that kind of thing, sure, you can recover from accidents, but it takes you longer, and the pain is worse, and there's a very real chance that you won't ever fully recover. And, I have, what do they call that now? I have battle scars, or street cred, or whatever they call it.
Got a little bit of a segue here as I'm talking about my injuries. It's not just my leg that was scarred up, it's also the bike. I'm not sure if that comes out clear in this video, but that's a pretty good scrape right there. That's a pretty serious ding. Here, not really anything, but down there, And over here, got a little bit of scrapage there. I don't know if you can see that, if I'm showing that correctly there. And of course here, that's why they're called crash bars. Also scraped the hell out of that right there. So do you think? Should I keep the scrapes on there as a badge of honor, or should I take them off? I was thinking of taking them off, but it's going to be a lot of money. So as long as the wife's not working, those scratches will stay exactly where they are. Now, for the more serious scratches.
Because I've got a scar on my leg, actually a bunch of scars now.
Let's see if I can show you this stuff right here on the bike. Why not, right? What else am I doing? I'm wasting your life, aren't I? There we go. I hope you can see that. So there you go. There's a scar there from when they cut open my leg and popped up the bone and dislocated my knee so they could put metal in there. And these are compression socks, by the way. These are old people socks. That's what I call them. Sorry, old people, if you're wearing these. I'm not old, and I'm wearing them, so there you go. Well, maybe I am old. Depends on your age, right? So anyway, these are compression socks. They push the blood up, which is good because I don't know if you can see that there. There's some discoloration on the leg from blood pooling and all that crap. That's where the bone was broken. And further down, I got more scars, but you can't really see them because of the boot I'm wearing. But yeah, them is my battle scars. And inside my leg, I've got pretty much like a foot, a little bit more than a foot maybe, of titanium rod down the center of my tibia. And I got another big titanium screw, or maybe chrome, I'm not sure, up the fibula. And a couple other screws holding it all together.
From the surgery, and I have metal inside there, and blah, blah, blah. So sure, you know, it might be a badge of honor in some ways, and you can look at it that way if you want to, but it still sucks to have to, you know, plan your moves if you want to go from the couch to the kitchen to get a drink of water, and you have to think to yourself, how am I going to get that glass of water back to the couch again when I'm on crutches? You know what I mean? So you got to think of these things. And then you can't walk for a long period of time. I mean, you may be able to take a few steps, but you can't really go anywhere. Supermarkets, you're going to get one of those electric dealies, and that's embarrassing. You can't exercise really because you're in so much damn pain and you're tired all the time that you don't want to go to the gym or whatever. Keep yourself fit. So maybe my griping and my whining will make a person think twice. Maybe even make a person go out and get insurance or be safer on the road. You know? And like I said, if I do go back to it, I'm going to try to be as prepared as I can financially for the consequences. Of course, you know, there's always a chance I could have a horrible accident and end up dead, but you know, it's the risk to take, right? And then, of course, think of the people in your life. Think of if you have kids, you know, who's going to be there to take care of your kids if you can't provide for them? Or think about your spouse, you know, what would your spouse do if you were suddenly gone or incapacitated and you couldn't hold up your end anymore? Those are very serious considerations. If you're riding somebody on the back, if you happen to go down, now you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting someone else very possibly. So that's a huge consideration. Luckily, I don't have any kids, I just have dogs, but I am the only one earning an income right now. So that's something I really have to think about. You can't just go doing things willy-nilly, think ahead. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say on that topic. Hope I haven't taken anybody's interest away from motorcycling because I think it's wonderful. But I just wanted you to be aware of what you're getting into. Pretty serious stuff. If you have any questions about my injuries or about my concerns, anything like that, or comments, please, you know, ask away or leave comments. And I'd like to know what your opinions are about this. And like I said before, I am totally in favor of anybody riding a motorcycle as long as they get trained and they follow the safety principles, you know, that'll keep you safe and alive. And for goodness sake, always think about the surface you're riding on. You know, if it's dark out especially, always make sure you're not leaning that bike over to turn it. If you're on a surface that could be possibly gravelly or sandy, I just wasn't thinking that night, and boom, over I went. So that's all I had to say about that, and hope you all are well, and we'll talk to you all later.